Mystics. It feels like every single day we read about somebody making a huge mistake, having an affair, having a scandal. What's our responsibility in that moment? Does the bad thing they've done outdo or undo all the good they've done? It's an interesting thought, isn't it? That's the conversation we're having today on Mystics, and we're excited to have the conversation with you. So let's get started.
This is a production of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of moving stories for corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners. Please help us keep the conversation going by rating, liking, and subscribing to this podcast. Thank you. Also, make sure to check out our other podcasts, Hope for Humans, funny, usable conversations to help change the world around you, and Got a Minute Mini Podcast, presenting funny stories and independent music, all in about 15 minutes. Now, here's Jay and Anjanette Webster.
Mystics, welcome back to the podcast. Hello, Anjanette.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the merry month of Enfuego. We are stuck in the heat dome, friends, and I don't mind telling you, it's less than comfortable. It's less than cheerful.
Yeah, the dome is dumb. We don't like it.
Well, it bogs you down. Bogs you down on a number of fronts. One is just hot. And we have our agreement that we're never going to say outside of the one time a day. You get one time a day to say it's so hot. Yeah. But
I've been saving mine for later.
Yeah, it's the heat that just won't leave you alone. Like even when you go out, like we're having to water everything right now to keep it just alive, not beautiful, just alive. And
we've invested a lot in our beautiful garden with our trees, and so they're looking dead.
And, a lot of the trees are suffering. It looks like late fall. It looks like November.
We actually have one tree. It's a redbud tree, and it is completely bare.
She's bare naked.
Like it's winter.
Yeah.
And we've been watering her, but she's done. Yeah.
It's not the water at this point. It's just the stress. It's the heat stress. And I identify with that stress right now. I feel the same way.
Well, then quit sending me the extended forecast.
That's
helpful.
The thing. So first of all, you walk outside because you got to move the sprinkler. You got to turn the sprinkler off at night, and it's 9:30, whatever it is, and it's still 95 degrees, and you're just thinking it's not supposed to be this hot.
Yeah.
And then it kind of gets in this fog of your brain, and it kind of melts your brain, and all you really want to do is just sleep and slog and rest.
I know. It is not motivational.
It's not. It's not at all good. But anyway, we're fine, friends, and I appreciate your concern and thanks for asking. But we're going to be okay.
Well, and I think on things to be grateful for, I was working on that this morning as I was out watering again. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful that in our area we got a bunch of rain in early summer so that we're able to water. Because if this had been other years, it would have just been like, there's not enough water for you to water your things, and I'm sorry. And so we have the water to water, so that's good. And I think that was the only thing I came up with. In regard to the heat.
And at some point, the seasons are going to change. And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
What's the thing? Tell me.
Girl. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. They keep telling us that, and now they're getting more specific about it. They're saying maybe August 25th, like August 27th. There's supposed to be relief from the heat dome. Like we're signing a peace treaty or something, and there's an agreement.
The dome will lift.
The dome is supposed to go somewhere else. Then supposedly we will be like 20 to 30 degrees below normal.
Oh.
And I don't know what that stretch is, but here's the other thing, and I'm not getting into conspiracies. I don't want to get into that space.
This is such an old guy thing.
I know it is.
These are like,
but I'm so hot, I don't care anymore.
I know, it's like extreme weather focus.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the problem with the socials, because I had to get rid of pretty much everybody else from my social, and the only people left are meteorologists.
You're telling me you cleaned up your friends list. You cleaned up your Facebook feed.
I was tired of getting it from both sides. I know everyone's the devil. I know that they're all horrible people. I know. Yes. And so I was getting it from my liberal and my conservative friends.
Well,
and I'm
me.
just
I
done.
know your kid's going back to school.
Yeah, I get
Everybody's
it.
going back to school, but I don't
want to see the picture again.
I
don't
do.
need to see
They're kind of cute.
With the little chalkboard thing that says, Freddie's going into third grade.
I know, but if you're Freddie's grandma in Ohio, you're excited.
I don't want to be mean about it, and people do want to celebrate, and I get it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And I sent you a private link that had every first day a picture of Evangeline going back to school since pre-K.
Thanks for breaking my heart. She starts high school.
Well,
I know.
all you need to do, we said this yesterday. Well, she's in marching band, and we've talked about that, and it's a huge, full contact, high commitment thing. Like,
It's
you know,
a
there's just
junior
to be at
military.
school at
Yeah.
6:45. They'd march for
She
2
leaves the house at
hours, all that
6:40,
stuff.
yeah.
Then twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, they have another rehearsal from like 4 to 8 or something like that.
3:45 to
and
8.
then every other Saturday, they're all daggone day.
Yeah.
And I said,
And the games haven't even started.
yeah, and I said, oh man, I really miss Evangeline until she's home.
I know.
And then she's so tired
like, so
and
tired
mean.
and
You're just like,
grumpy.
oh,
She's been out
boy,
marching in the
this is-
heat. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know where that was going, but anyway,
pretty
so
funny.
here's the thing. And I don't want to get into conspiracies and weird stuff, but you know,
Come on,
there's
let's do it.
there's the whole El Nino,
Oh, Lord.
and now we have a super El Nino.
Wait a
Super El Nino.
Wait a
El
second.
Nino Soprano.
There's a super El Nino.
There's a super El Nino.
Super El Nino.
El Super El Nino. And yes, Super El Nino is flying now in the higher elevations. And the way the Super El Nino works is it's building in strength because of the warmth of the oceans and everything
the
else that's
basic El
happening.
Nino? Okay.
Yeah, it's already kicked El Nino's butt and left it on the side of the road. He says, "No, I'm Super El Nino. I will be the El Nino now.
Oh, my
I am
gosh.
the El Nino now, double portion."
I am the El Nino.
And so he's flying even higher
The super El
and
Nino.
wreaking even more havoc.
Okay.
And so what it's supposed to do is like then when the temperature, so he's above everything.
Wow.
And so when the normal cooler fronts come in,
Okay.
Super El Nino sees that and he swoops down.
To kill them?
And he's like, no, now you will be super winter. And like it's supposed to
What?
mean like tons more snow and tons more moisture during
Are
the
you
winter.
kidding
all this. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the Super El Nino. It's like
As
a
if the
bad,
political climate of our country
the
weren't bad
Nino.
enough.
That's my brother Jimmy's favorite sketch from Saturday Night Live.
What is it?
It's Chris Farley playing El Nino. He says, I am the El Nino, which means the Nino. So, yeah,
Well,
shout
it
out
means
to my
the
brother
child.
Jimmy.
I don't get the
Yeah,
name. I don't know.
anyway,
The
yeah.
child.
Well, and then there is a La Nina, which is a whole other front.
El Super Nino.
Anyway, that's not why you called. Let me just bring you up to speed on this. Hey, we just
Goodness.
released the latest episode of The Dreamery, our e-newsletter that comes out once a month. It's free. It's jam-packed with a witty banter like you're hearing here right now.
In print, though.
And it has, this one's a very special issue because it has a theory that Anjanette came up with, which I think is incredibly interesting and very entertaining. And so anyway, it's in the newsletter. Check it out if you haven't.
Okay.
And if you're not getting the Dreamery, then just send us your email address and we'll add you to the list. You can cancel it anytime. It's free. It's really entertaining. You might want to sign your friends up for it. Give us their email. Like I said, you can get out anytime you want. So it's all cool. Also,
Yes.
on the socials, speaking of meteorologists, we have a Facebook page for the Mystics podcast, and we have a Facebook page for our sister podcast, Hope for Humans,
Yes.
and we would love for you to sign up for that. It's great. We don't over publish stuff or over post stuff on it, so it's real super easy. But it gives you some kind of background stuff, and then when we have new podcasts or whatever it is.
Yeah. It'll send you a notification. Hey,
Or
new
if we're doing
podcast.
something with group participation, you get a chance to be a part of that and on and on and on. So
love that.
that's that. So go to your socials and just type in Hope for Humans or Mixed Up Mystics, and then those two pages will pop up and you start following them, and then we'll just be that much closer to each other.
I love it. Is that your last announcement?
It's not. I'm sorry to
Okay,
say.
because I have one too.
Okay. So, and here's one of our last announcements. Yes.
Okay.
Also, you know that we love doing these podcasts, but soon we'll be able to get back together in person. We've been on a summer break for the Dreamers Live, and our Dreamers Live event
Yes.
is coming up on September 25th.
Looking forward to it.
So if you don't live in Leeds, England, and you're in the sound of our voice here, then you can come join us.
I want Mr. and Mrs. Bean to come see us.
We'll have to go see them maybe.
Yeah,
you know, I
that'd
don't
be
know.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll wait till the El Ninos
We're
pass.
also in Japan. We're also in the Netherlands. What else? I saw something else that was kind of surprising the other day. Yeah. So anyway, all the countries. We're in 63 or 68 countries
That's
or territories.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and if any of you guys wanted to, become our corporate sponsor and send us so that we can go meet our constituents there.
We'd love to bring dreamers or mystics to you live and in person. We'll do a conversation with you right there on the spot.
Yeah, we will.
Be great. Get your group
Have
together.
a party for your friends.
We'll meet in your house. We'll meet in the pub. We'll meet in the library. Wherever you want us to go, we'd love to do it.
The Netherlands sound nice right now.
Anywhere sounds nice right now. But anyway, okay. So yeah, Dreamers Live event, September 25th. We're really looking forward to it. We can't wait. It just feels like forever since we've seen your faces. Yeah. And the last couple of Dreamers events we did were just so nice and so great. And we really miss seeing you. So we're looking forward to that. Also, every conversation we have is a great conversation. It's really important, but something about the last several have just really been moving, and we've loved them. So if you're not caught up on episodes, go back and listen to some of the back episodes, because we've had some really important conversations. And at the Hope for Humans podcast headquarters, they just did a thing, and I did the annual interview with our daughter Evangeline, which is called "What I Did for Summer Break." It's super funny and enlightening. It's sponsored by the word "like."
Yeah,
and I was like,
yep.
But it's a great interview, and
it's
you'll
pretty
really
cute.
enjoy it. Yeah,
you get to enjoy her snarky sense of humor.
Right. What's your announcement?
Well, that was the longest set of
I know,
announcements
I'm so
ever.
sorry.
So I hate to add to it, but I'm just gonna. Okay, so this is Mystics. We're honest and upfront.
Yes.
We just share from our hearts. Blah blah blah. So I have the world's worst canker sore.
Oh my
I just want
gosh.
everyone to know, and it's actually not just one. It is like an outbreak that has happened in my entire mouth, which is difficult when you make a living by talking and singing.
Yes.
And so, anyway, I called my awesome cousin, Dr. Kathy. I went back to her maiden name, Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
And she's a dentist and knows about mouths and stuff. And she was like, "I'm so sorry. Those are viral infections, and they can last 10 to 14 days." And I was like, "Stop! No."
Is it like a kissing disease? Like, did you get that from someone?
No, it just happens sometimes. So my whole mouth is on fire.
And fuego.
And I sound like I have an interesting little accent. So that's it. And
Sounds like you're Castilian.
And if I'm feeling better today, if it had been yesterday, I just would have been like, "Sorry, you're solo."
Yeah.
So if I'm a little quiet or I sound weird, I do it like I'm from Barcelona. I'm protecting the giant sore on the tip of my tongue. Okay,
Sorry.
so that's it.
Sound like
Carry on.
what was the character from the Gilmore Girls that worked at the inn?
Oh, the dragonfly? Yeah, the French guy.
Yeah.
Michel. Yes, what are we doing today? Yes.
What do I have to do to not be here with you?
That's me.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Speaking of the bean and interesting conversations,
Yes.
she is really, really into music and all bands and not just like, oh, I like this album or I like this group or whatever it is. She wants to know the backstory.
She's like
on
really,
all those
she's like
people.
you on steroids.
Oh my gosh. Well, and it is funny, when I was growing up, other kids were collecting comic books and stuff like that. I just wanted music magazines.
Yeah.
And there's a little convenience store right next to our apartment complex, and somehow I had the freedom to leave my apartment and go to, there was no road in between us. It was literally just next door.
It was back in the 70s and 80s. We did what we wanted.
Yeah, and so you just go in there, and there would be magazines on the rack and everything, and all this stuff. And I would just buy these things, and if it had like Kiss on it, or had the Village People, or had something like that, I was just like, I'd buy that and just do my best to read it. And
you should have gotten into sports or something.
And so Evangeline's like that. She's kind of pseudo-obsessed with all music. Like her room now looks very much like her. There's posters and it's all genres. So it might be Led Zeppelin on one poster, or Rage Against the Machine, or Paramore, or 21 Pilots,
She's
or whatever it
into
is.
a lot of retro stuff, but a lot of modern stuff. She's got great taste.
And she really wants to know all the stuff about those bands. And so like I came across this thing on one of my playlists, a couple of years ago, and it was the Smiths, and it's a song called "There's a Light That Never Goes Out." And it's a really funny chorus about if a double decker bus kills the both of us,
it's my honor to die by your side. Yeah, I know, because you guys sing it all the time.
And we just love it. And it also became like a little love signature thing. Like I bought her a little Hot Wheels double decker bus and all that stuff, and just thing. And then I'll sometimes send her a note, and I just drew the bus, and I said, "There's a light that never goes out."
So cute, honey.
And then she, on her own accord, kind of just got interested and then tried to look some stuff up, and she said, "Dad, there are, a lot of bands have members in them that have done really bad things. Or have really horrible beliefs and viewpoints about things. I was like,
buddy.
Welcome to the world. Yeah. Welcome to the real world.
We're letting you explore, but let's not follow.
It's a whole thing. And so she quickly got into people's politics, and she got into statements they had made, and then it brought up this really interesting thing about what do we do with this? We happen to live in a town that has Frank Lloyd Wright's only quote unquote realized skyscraper. Right. It's like 19 stories. It's called the Price Tower, and it's internationally known. And
it is.
And when it's currently going under some renovation and new ownership, but previously, you would routinely get a busload, a couple, usually a week, and they would be tourists from other places, often from Japan or something like that, where he also did a lot of work, and they would just flock to see this building and check it off the list. I've seen Frank Lloyd Wright's skyscraper, and a lot of people would just love and adore him as an architect. But as a human, he was, I can't use the language on Mystics, but he was not a good person.
Well, you can use the language on Mystics, but he was not a good man.
He's not a good person. Yeah. And there was so much about him that was reprehensible.
Yeah.
And apprehensible would be different. Yeah, whole other thing. But reprehensible, and just an awful, awful human being. Yeah. And yet here we are with this. But then there's his architecture. He's
renowned architect.
And is his architecture good or is it not? And same thing with lots of musicians and filmmakers and writers and on and on. And so, you're kind of left with, what do I do with that? How do I manage that?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of spurred a conversation between you and I, and then kind of sort of dogleg connected to it. Okay. In our little town of DeVille, we have some of the best city government anywhere. And the people that work here are just awesome and amazing, and they do a lot, and they take a lot of flack for it. We have a very active community, of course, and so if they make a suggestion for something that seems to be obviously good for the community, you can just bet there'll be 10 or 20 voices also against it, and for really no apparent reason. So they take a significant amount of abuse.
They do, and the term civil servant comes to mind in a good way, where they are, those are not the best paid jobs in the world, and they take a lot of flack, but they really want to try to make the city better. So
we have a person that works for our city government. They do a great job, and we've worked with them on several things and really like this person a lot. And then there was a surprise announcement about 2 weeks ago that they were leaving to do something different.
Yeah.
But it was so immediate and so quick that it left you to think, it feels like maybe something else is going on here, that this is not just, they didn't just get hired away or something like that. Because the information was very quick and also incomplete. and it turned out this person had made a bad choice, and sounds like had made a bad personal choice.
Yes.
And now no longer felt comfortable doing those duties or responsibilities here in town. Sure. And so it's been very difficult for them. It's been very difficult for their family, as you can imagine. Yeah. When you're a public servant, you're public. Yeah. And so it just reminded me of one of my least favorite things, which is the sort of gotcha quality within most of us as humans, that somehow, we build people up, whether they're rock stars or whatever, and then we really love to, and we feel empowered to pull them down when something happens.
Sure.
And just the idea that your life's work and your life's accomplishments and your life's giving could be distilled into your personal failure. And then and I don't know why, that failure takes precedent over the good that you've done or the accomplishments you've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It's tough because in this particular case or cases like this, it is public. All of us make mistakes, and many of us have had indiscretions that, are rough, that we've had to recover from. But we didn't have a job where everybody would know that business.
Right.
And so there is something where we take people that we admire, especially celebrity culture musicians, and we put them on the pedestal.
Right.
We raise them up to that level.
Yeah.
We do this same thing with, podcasters, not us probably, but televangelists, different ministers that we listen to, all those people. we raise them up. And then oftentimes we're the first one when they fail
Yeah.
or make a mistake to say, well, I can't believe they did that and they're dead to me.
Yeah.
You know, the concept of cancel culture, I don't like to use that term, but
Well, we really
it's
justify
like Christian cancel culture.
I don't know why, but we really justify it when the person either makes a lot of money or has a lot of fame.
Yeah.
And we think somehow that should make them an open target or
Immune.
justifiably an open target for our scrutiny. Like, oh, if we're going to put you up on this pedestal, then that just know what comes with that is that we can take shots at you anytime we want to.
Well, and I've even heard people say that.
Yeah.
I've even heard, well, they're famous,
Yeah.
so you know they have that lifestyle with this sort of spite or envy involved.
Well, there's a
you know?
voyeuristic. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like because they have something you don't have.
Right.
You feel like you are
Entitled to trash
Yeah, that's a
them.
good word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, entitled to do that. And I can remember a couple of years ago, probably 10 years ago now, we had a whole thing here in the U.S. where our NFL, our football league, was going through some stuff, and the country had really fallen into this thing where there was a lot of police abuse, and I am not against the police. I'm not for defunding the police. I think, there's a percentage of the people who are probably ill-equipped to be police officers and probably have some bad training and just shouldn't be in that position. And also, a lot of police officers are seeing the absolute worst of society on a routine, daily basis, repeatedly. And so it would be hard not to get jaded in that. And they probably need to work out some kind of rotation system in that process.
But there's also a larger percentage of them who are civil servants that protect and keep us.
But, a significant portion of the African-American culture felt targeted in that and felt like they were put in that position. And there was what seemed to be statistically a bias. And so, part of that group that were, NFL athletes who were in the NFL decided I can't keep acting like everything's normal.
Yeah.
And I had this position. And so, they would do things like when the national anthem, they weren't trying to be disrespectful, they would just take a knee. I just can't. I'm trying to serve this country and live in this country, but this country is not treating me in the same way.
Yeah, or my people in the same way.
And so I'm just going to choose to take a knee. Well, that brought this whole thing, and I get it. It's shocking, but it's intended to be shocking. That's what protests are.
Yeah.
Protests are generally not convenient.
No.
They stop traffic.
They're to draw attention.
Yeah, and
to.
so I get that part of it. Ironically, we don't even show the national anthem on most games, but somehow it got to be known, and so now all of a sudden it was on every game.
We were looking for the controversy. Oh, that helps ratings. Yeah.
And I remember the whole thing about, look, we're paying you. We're paying you. Just shut up and dance.
For real.
I just thought, why is that the justification?
Right.
Hey, we're paying you. You just do it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're paying you, and you're ungrateful. No, I don't know that they're ungrateful. It just was they're trying to say this is not okay.
Yeah.
And I'm having a difficult time separating these two parts of my life.
Right.
And so there was that part of it. And it did put people in a strange place. But this idea that, that we can be so quick to want to pull somebody down. And I'm thinking about the number of amazing politicians who were brought down by a singular scandal. It's one thing to be a repeated
offender,
abuser.
Absolutely.
And for that to come out, and I think that's what happened at the beginning of what we now call the Me Too movement and cancel culture. I think that whole thing kind of got too big after a while. The head of it got too big and too weighty, so it was unbalanced. But in the beginning, it was like, hey, just because you earn a profit, just because you earn fame doesn't give you the right to abuse people in the process. It doesn't justify your goods, don't justify your bads.
Right.
And so that was a part of it. But now we have this whole thing where when someone messes up, it's like it wipes the slate clean. And I've lived with this fear. I think all of us did. And I think that was some of the damage of the cancel culture, which was, I think to myself, I know myself. I feel, and I wrote a column about it actually a couple of years ago, and I called it Acrobat, I think in some ways as in association with the U2 song Acrobat, where there's the line from Bono. It says something out. It must be an acrobat to talk like this and live like that.
Yeah.
And so there's this thing where I think to myself on any given day, I can do good to the point where I think, oh my gosh, this is this is like the real me. This is me living out who I was made to be.
Yeah.
This is a good in a sense that's bigger than me, and I can find ways to be generous. I can find ways to encourage people. I know that I'm adding to someone's life. I know that I'm building things. I know that this work that I'm doing is accomplishing this really, really good thing, and I can think to myself, oh, this is the person I want to be.
Yeah.
And in the same day and in the same moment, I can be selfish. I can be self-focused. I can be mean-spirited. I can have thoughts that are embarrassingly dark. I can say things. I can be a jackweed in my relationships with you or anybody else. And so you have this whole thing like, who am I? Am I the good me or am I this other me?
Yeah.
And is the good that I've done at risk from a singular mistake or failing?
Yeah, it's crazy. The interesting thing is, for me anyway, the older I get and the longer I'm alive, the more I'm acquainted with my potential for failure.
Yeah.
I have seen myself fail, and I've seen myself get up and lead worship at church,
Right.
and sing and get off the platform and be rude to a family member.
Right.
Within the same
I forgive you.
5 minutes. You deserved it. But the longer you live, the harder it is, and the more times you've been, I guess, felt the love of God's grace
Yes.
and His forgiveness toward you. What's interesting about that is, I want to extend that to other people.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I get it.
Right.
I also understand that all of us are a few bad decisions away
Man.
from wrecking things.
Yeah.
And if you don't think you are, you might check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Absolutely.
Because we're all human. We all have, quote, temptations, different things that pull at us that we struggle with. And I'm very aware of that in myself. And so when I see somebody else fail, I don't think, yeah, get him. Yeah, you deserve that. I think, oh, dude, I feel so bad for them. I could see that happening to me.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Well, I think that's humility. And that's the way I live in all those cases where I just think, that could be me in a heartbeat.
Right.
I could just do that in a minute. I mean, it just doesn't. And I think it's not that we're letting each other off. It's just like you say, when you've lived enough life, you know how easy it is for that stuff to happen. And so it's not surprising. It's not that it's not disappointing.
Yeah, or
It's
sad
not that you
for
wish
them.
that something else would happen, but we've lived enough life to think that's just human, and that's what humans do, and so it's no longer surprising, not in a jaded way, but just in a way that says, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Did you, growing up Catholic, did you have this phrase? I heard this phrase a lot. Well, it's actually from Scripture, but there before the grace of God go I.
Well, I was
did
just
you
thinking.
hear that?
Yeah, I was just
And
thinking
people
about.
would say it like that, but it was a little bit like, I'm sure some people said it, well, there before the grace of God go on, sort of like that. But that's it.
Yes.
When you see somebody fail, have an indiscretion, go bankrupt, steal money, whatever it is, I think there was a time early in my life I would have, I don't think I've ever been super mean-hearted, but I would have thought, well, those are the consequences of your actions, kind of my black and white younger personality.
Yeah.
And now I think, man, without God's grace every day to make good decisions and to keep doing that, I could see how that could happen.
Right.
I mean, if you're having tough times and your family's in need and you can't see a way out and you feel like you've done everything you can. I mean, all it takes really is putting yourself inside the scenario, depending how you like to say it,
Yeah.
of that person. Let yourself play it out for a minute
Right.
and see how in your own life that could be you.
Yeah. Right.
And that, if it's humility, that sounds really spiritual. For me, that is in a way a fear of God.
Yes.
It's an interesting term because we don't really fear God, but it's more of like a respect for, I don't know, the way things are laid out and what can happen. And be like, God, please keep me in line.
Yeah.
Help me out.
Well, and I'm sure for mystics at home, I mean, their minds are probably abuzz with all these things too. I'm thinking about the stuff you're referencing, that there for the grace of God go I. But I think Paul also says something like, this is a paraphrase, but he says essentially, every time I want to do good, every time I intend to do good, there's this evil that's right there.
Right there beside me.
Yeah, right. That causes me to do. I do the thing I don't want to do. That's what he says. Yeah, that's what he says. He says,
Yes.
I know the good I should do, and yet I end up doing the bad I don't want to do.
Yeah. So let's flip this for a second. For the people who struggle with it, oh yeah, you did do that. You suck. You deserve those consequences. What's going on in their mind and heart?
Yeah, that's a great question. Are we trying to create a certain level of separation between us and
that would
them?
never happen to me because I love my wife and I do this and that, and I go to church every Sunday.
Is it how we make ourselves feel better, or how we protect ourselves and think somehow that's never going to happen to us?
Yeah, well, that's true. There could be a couple motivations. One is a judgmental standpoint. Well, that would never happen to me because I'm doing all the right things.
Yeah.
Then there's the other, which is we fear or see that we're capable of that, and so we try to distance ourselves, from that and say, same thing happens. This is kind of a deep conversation.
Well, thank you.
Looking interiorly, have you ever noticed when people go through a tragedy, especially when someone that they love dies, or in extreme cases, which has got to just be the saddest thing ever, there's like a teenager that maybe dies in a car wreck, or
Right.
I remember being around somebody when their teenager texted them and said, "Hey, mom, so-and-so has died in a car accident." And I remember this mom getting the news and saying, "Well, what was going on?" And she goes, "Well, they were out late at 2 a.m. and weren't wearing their seatbelts. So, that's going to happen." And I know this person has a kind heart. It was more the idea that we try to separate ourselves from the fact that so in essence, she was saying that would never happen to us.
Right.
Because we wouldn't let our kids stay out late and they wear seatbelts and that is not going to happen. I'm going to separate myself out from that tragedy. So on a lesser case, in a lesser situation where somebody is seeing the failure of others, maybe that is it. I think sometimes there's a mean-spiritedness about it.
Right.
But I also think maybe they're afraid. They see how vulnerable they are. And so they say, well, this would never happen to us.
Right.
Because I'm going to church and I'm studying the Bible and I'm giving my tithe, or, all these, things that we check off a list.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a self-protection.
Maybe so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the warnings are all there. You look at thinking about all these little things that there's, like there's a lion seeking whom he may devour. Yeah. There's this thing about running the race and the sin that so easily entangles us or trips us up. This thing about, like Paul says, that it's just always there. I want to do good, and here's the evil beside me. And so I think, you normally ask things like this, well, what do you do in this scenario? How do you protect yourself in this scenario? Mm-hmm. To me, I think part of it is remaining humble. Yeah. That maybe we just don't get on that train when everybody else wants to tear people down. We just think, but for the grace of God, that could be me in a minute. And I don't think of myself so highly that I think I couldn't fall into that. I'd like to think I wouldn't. I'd like to think I wouldn't make that mistake, but I don't know. Yeah. And a lot of that stuff happens in moments of fatigue. Yes. Happens in moments where
you're disillusioned spiritually.
Or you're frustrated, or you're believing your own press clippings or whatever it is. Yeah. And you just think, or you think no one else, is going to know or something. You just, like your dad used to say, it's called deception for a reason. You fall
you
into
something. Your own.
No one says, hey, would you like to wreck your life? Then do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's part of it. And so there's this thing about humility I think is really, really important. I think there's this thing about open dialogue and open communication with people in your life that you trust, that has to be there.
Yeah.
that can check on you, that can sense that something's not quite right. You know that I have like no poker face whatsoever. So
no, I can tell when you've
if
got
anything
something
is usually off, you know that, and you would ask me. And I think I have a couple of friends that are kind of like that.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons we need to stay in relationship with people.
Right.
When you see someone start to isolate, a lot of times it's because they're struggling,
Right.
whatever that is, and then as they're struggling, they're tempted to isolate more.
Yes.
And so if you have those friends, that's why we got to check on each other and say, hey, what's going on? I notice things seem kind of off with you. Because a lot of times I think when people are end up making really bad decisions, kind of life altering.
Yeah.
I think it is happening like 1 degree at a time. You know how like when you're drawing a line and it looks straight?
Sure.
And you're like, or for me, it's always, dang, man, when I'm trying to cut something with scissors, like a piece of fabric that made me sound like I craft a lot, but, or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is fine. It's going fine. And then you look and you're like, it is not fine. It is totally crooked.
Yeah.
But it happened 1 little degree at a time. So if we care for one another the way God asks us to, we check in when we start to see the degrees get a little bit off because it's harder later on.
Yeah.
And, I hate that word because it's gotten so overused spiritually, but accountability, is a good word. It's people that are in relationship enough with you that they'll say, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
We need to do that for each other.
Yeah.
It's important.
I think this other thing is, which we talked about a lot, which is above all else, guard your heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so part of that is not allowing that kind of judgment to harden your heart because it makes you desensitized. It's not believing what everybody else says about you. It's about acknowledging your spiritual poverty. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Yeah. That helps you stay humble, helps you stay aware. And then I think this other thing is, which you kind of alluded to earlier, which is, our thought life. There's stuff that just pops into your brain.
Oh, man,
little
it does. Yeah.
Fantasies, little ideas, little things.
Little revenges.
Yeah, what would it be like to have? What would it be like to have that car? What would it be like to look like that? What would it be like to be married to them? What would it be like to have that job? All those kind of things. And you can if you're not careful, you can start playing those things out.
Oh, for sure.
In your life, and they take you down a rabbit trail.
They do.
And so there's this thing about your thought life, like we joke about.
The thoughts you entertain? Is that what
the thoughts you entertain? Yeah.
So true.
Your mind lives on public access road. It's a great road. It's how we're able to be exposed to ideas we don't have in our in our minds now.
Yeah.
Creativity and things, new ideas. It's really perfect. It's great. But it means it's public access. It means that anyone can come to the front door of your mind and knock on it. And sometimes someone comes to your mind and they're selling something that you don't need in your life.
Yeah.
And you have to say no then, right away.
Right.
Don't invite them in and tell them, I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
No,
I think that's interesting.
Get rid of the idea now.
Yeah.
Say no to the idea now, because next thing you know, when you're tired, if you give that thing shelter in the shade attic of your mind, next thing you know, it will be on your couch eating your Cheetos.
Oh, it totally will. Like we joke about that.
It gets more and more difficult to get rid of that idea the longer you, quote, entertain it.
It reminds me of the people that we've known in different times in our life that would maybe have a friend that was having a tough time.
Yeah.
And they would need a place to stay.
Yeah.
And that person would, I feel really bad for them and I'm going to let them stay a night. And we're going to have a great time. And they, make them a grilled cheese and they do the whole thing. And, but yet that person is not living in a good way.
Right.
And it begins to tank the entire home of the other people. And then they start moving their stuff in.
Right.
And then they start inviting their friends over for parties when you're at work. And the longer and then eventually you've got this roommate that you didn't want.
Right.
And you can't get rid of them.
Oh my gosh.
I actually knew one person that moved out and left their own home. Yeah. And left that person there.
Well, you're joking about this. This actually happened just at college.
Yeah.
I was set up to be in an apartment with 2 other guys. And so there's going to be 3 of us. Well, one of the guys kind of begged out and didn't end up coming to school and this whole thing.
Begged out of school.
Yeah. And then my other roommate found this guy that we kind of went to high school with. And he was like, hey, so-and-so is here and they're going to move in with us. And I was like, really?
And he didn't even ask you if it was okay.
I was kind of like, okay. That. And then so they kind of moved in and I go away for the weekend.
Yeah.
I come back, and we would have this habit of, we had an answer machine at that time. So you'd come in, first thing you'd do, you'd come in the house,
check
and you'd
your
go to the
messages.
countertop, and you'd look at your machine to see if it was blinking or not. So it blinks, and the way the answer machine worked is it would play the outgoing message, and then it would play any missing message or any messages from calls you missed.
Yes.
So I get on there, and I walk in.
So before you left, it said, "Hi, this is Jay and David."
Yeah.
And we're da-da-da-da-da.
And so I come in, and it's hey, this is Brian. You know what to do. Beep. I'm like, who the hell's Brian?
He was your
And
new
it was my new roommate. He'd come in, changed the outgoing message on the machine, taken
Trashed
over
the place.
Yeah, moved into to the room he wanted, it changed all this stuff, and had a party, whatever. And I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah. And then you learned what should have happened was you should have said to the other roommate, no,
we need to talk about this in advance.
I think that's a good plan.
And it was just one thing after another.
remember that.
But that is exactly.
And you had to live with it for the whole semester because you didn't confront it. We don't like confrontation. You and I are but that's
and
it.
we also probably thought we justified. Oh, we need the money. We need to separate.
We did,
it.
and also
I still don't think he paid any rent.
He
but-
was having a tough time, and so we were like, well, we're reaching out to him.
Yeah, and that is the way those
That's how those
thoughts
work.
They come in, they knock at the door, and you think, "Oh, no, let's," and you
Well, I
don't.
probably should reach out to them.
I'll deal with that later. Just have a seat over here, and
But
we'll
it
talk.
doesn't feel right. It doesn't have shine on it. You know it doesn't. So
when that fantasy comes in, you're just like, nope, no.
Yeah.
And we've joked about.
don't entertain the thought.
We've joked about it before. I just do a verbal no. I mean,
Yeah.
out loud. No. Yeah, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to have that envy. No, I don't want to have that thought. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then I can, once I say no, I can actually pray, God, I don't want that thought in my brain. Can you help me? I know that's not real. I know that's not reality.
Exactly.
And that's it. I'm convinced that most affairs are not based on attraction. Most affairs are based on, this is different than what I'm living in now.
I'm in this hard life. We have kids. We're
things
broke.
are not going well with my spouse. I'm
not getting
tired of
along.
this thing in my life. This is like a vacation from the thing I'm living in now.
I agree.
And you don't play it out. You don't say, what's this person going to be like in 6 months?
Yeah.
What's this person going to be like in a year or 5 years? What's my life going to be like
this gonna do to
before
my
and after?
family?
Yeah. And so you're in a hard, difficult place, and then this thing seems attractive because it's like, this is a vacation. I'll do this
so
instead.
different than what I'm doing. Yeah.
And
so do you think it's possible when I think there's a lot of issues that play in this conversation, but they're good. The reminder of not entertaining those thoughts. But when we have those judgments, harsh, really, judgments toward people who have failed or made the wrong decision,
right.
what should we do? Say nope to those thoughts?
I'm immediately thinking about teachings of Jesus about, we don't judge lest we fall under judgment.
Yeah.
We don't judge because that comes back on us. And it comes back on us to the degree of harshness, to the degree of vehemence. That we use.
Right.
And so, that should be fear and trepidation there.
Yeah.
That, when I have that thought, an alarm should go off and go, I don't want that. I don't need that in my life. I can't bear that.
Well,
so
you can have a thought without speaking it. And
you can have a
that's when it
thought,
becomes...
recognize it, and say, okay, I'm
Say
going to
nope.
nope. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
Nope. And God, I feel bad for that person. I pray that somehow you'll bring good out of this, restoration out of this, and I pray that you would be a comfort to their family and all the people hurting in this right now.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that so far I haven't fallen into that, and I appreciate your grace.
I love that. I love the idea that first off, you nope the thoughts.
Right.
You see how you could easily, fall into that one bad decision at a time, and you pray for them.
Right.
And see the humanity and the struggle and the sadness in this situation.
Yes.
I hate it when I see people and there's a celebrity or a politician or whatever, and you just hear people trashing them.
Oh my gosh.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
And what we should be doing is saying, there, but for the grace of God go I, and now I'm going to pray for them.
And the added, ingredient in this that makes it more tempting, I think, now is that we are so polarized. And so when it's somebody from the, quote, other side.
Yeah, you're like, well, they're all like that.
Man, it's good to see them fall. Man, there's all that coming. And you can have a hint of something. You can recognize something for what it is. And the truth is those people who elevate themselves will be pulled down. We know that as a spiritual truth.
Yeah.
And
I've been waiting for that to happen in a couple situations. Sorry.
So, it's the thing that we kind of...
I'm going to go back and pray for them again.
it's the thing that we kind of leave. Okay, that's God's plan. That's his thing. I don't need to be a part of that process.
Yeah.
But in this case, it is. It's like, that thought comes in like, okay, no, I'm not going to let that stay above all else. I'm going to guard my heart, and I'm not going to celebrate and be, do all that for that, for the malice. And you can be, I think there's a joy that comes when evil is brought down, and we talk about that, and there's a celebration that happens in that to an extent. But I don't know. I think humility is the best first step. Okay, that could be me. Yeah. Okay, I could be blinded, I could be deceived, I could be, whatever it is, that could be me.
Yeah, and we're called above all to love.
Yes.
And one of my favorite things from the love chapter, is love covers all wrongs.
Right. Yeah, and takes no joy in evil.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that's it.
Right.
If you see a wrong and you share it,
yes,
and you trash people with your mouth, that's not covering wrong.
Right.
Covering wrong is saying, "Ooh, that is so sad. I hate to hear that." Mm-hmm. Man, one bad decision, 2, 3, 4, I can see how that can happen to somebody, especially when they're going through some tough stuff. By the way, if you find yourself in those conversations, which we all do, and people are on the trash train, I'll tell you how you can clear it up super fast. My dad taught me this when I was in middle school. All you have to do is say something positive about that person, and it'll turn it around. Because people will go find someone else to trash people with.
Right.
But you don't want to be part of that.
Right.
And so you say, man, I can really see how that could happen. That's a tough one, you know? And then the conversation moves away.
Right.
And that's what we're called to love.
Well, we talk about this about 1,000 times, but the whole thing is, we're supposed to look different than the world around us.
Right.
There's nothing extraordinary about doing what everybody else is doing.
Right. That's the easy way.
The difficult thing, the thing that draws attention to the light that lives in us is when we behave in a way that is unexpected.
Yeah.
And love does the unexpected.
Yes.
Love shows up. Love shows up with mercy and grace and kindness and humility and says, okay, no, let's do this instead.
Yeah.
Love is the one that doesn't stone the woman. Love is the one that does give the glass of water. Love is the thing that, does what's unexpected. And that's what makes it spectacular and stand out.
It is. It's very Jesus-y.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of situations in our life, and this is not to make us sound better or whatever.
But we are. But that's fine.
I think everyone already knows.
Yeah, please.
I mean, do you have your own spiritual podcast?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's not say we're not an authority on something.
Anyway, where we have known people that had an indiscretion that was really life-wrecking, and individually on different accounts, we've written them a note to say, I just want you to know that I love you.
Right.
And we still believe in you, and let us know if there's anything we do to help.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So if you know somebody and you're in contact with them, imagine how much they're hurting, the shame and failure, and just send them a note.
What is one of God's favorite things?
Restoration.
Restoration, reconciliation, forgiveness and healing.
Bring stuff back together.
Mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment.
Yeah.
And so you want to be with God? Well, do the thing that he loves the most.
Yeah.
Help with restoration, help with healing, help with forgiveness and mercy.
Reconcile.
Do that thing.
Yeah. That's good.
Mystics, you guys are so amazing. Thanks for these amazing conversations we get to have with you. And Jeanette, thanks for playing Hurt. I barely noticed your lisp.
It wasn't too bad.
It was healing. It's a miracle.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. I feel better.
And as always, we would love it for you guys to continue this conversation out and about with other people. You can also message us and send us your thoughts. On your little app right there, it has the thing where you can send us comments or a note or something if you want to say something. But we love all that. You guys are so generous that way.
I feel like this was a difficult conversation today, and I feel like everyone has earned a hard candy.
You guys got a hard candy. As Oprah would say, a hard candy for you, and you get a hard candy.
Yeah.
You get a hard candy.
I'm gonna
Here's
have
a strawberry hard candy.
one. Actually, that could burn the canker sores. I'm gonna go for a chill one. But everyone, get yourself a hard candy.
Get yourself
today.
a hard candy and enjoy that. Also, and just take note. And also, when you get the hard candy, just take a couple minutes to savor it. And not crunch it right away, and just think about what's that flavor like, and why is that so delighting my tongue, and what's that so, and all the things, and just really drink it in for a second.
Love that.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to sign up for the Facebook pages for the Mystics and Hope for Humans on Facebooks. And then send us your email address if you haven't already so we can get you on the mailing list for the Dreamery. And we'll even send you this last issue that just went out so you can hear Anjanette's theory, which is brilliant.
Oh, please. Oh, stop.
Mystics, we love you guys. Thanks for being a part of this. We can't wait to see you on the next episode. So peace out.
See you soon.
Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode. And remember, continue this conversation with someone you know. This is Pioneer Dream.